Hello everyone, and welcome to my Draw My Life video. It's been a while since I've been making YouTube videos, and so I wanted to kick it off with a history of my life and maybe tell you what's been going on since the last time I've uploaded videos. So here we go. I was born in Austin, Texas. I have no idea what the weather was or how fat I was because I was just a baby. So let's just say it was raining ? My parents were pretty prepared in their life when they had me. They were both in their 30s, and my parents really do love each other, and they're actually still together today. I'm the middle child, and I have an older brother and a younger sister. There were a lot of animals in my life. At one point, I remember we had 7 cats, a dog, a hedgehog, and there may have even been like a lizard in there at some point. I was in absolute heaven. I don't have a lot of memories before elementary school. I do remember that one time in preschool, as a class, we had a project of singing If I Had a Little Red Box, like the If I Had a Little Red Box to put my mommy in. Well, when we performed it for the parents, my mother cried. I was a little confused, and she reassured me that she was crying because she was happy. She must have did a good job because I remember feeling really happy too. This may have been the first performance of my life. Then elementary school. I can easily say that elementary school was the hardest time in my life. I had a speech impediment where I said R's as W's, so bird was bode and water was wada. Also, I didn't know it at the time, but I had ADHD and I was dyslexic. I would dread needing to copy notes or read aloud in class. Kids would make fun of me because I was so bad at this. I would slow the whole class down because I needed to copy vocabulary words down letter by letter instead of seeing the whole word and just writing it down. I remember in the first grade, because of my ADHD, I would stand at my desk instead of sitting while doing work. My first grade teacher just couldn't handle this, and she forced me to sit. Long story short, I was not a popular kid and I was picked on a lot. I felt like the whole school was hostile towards me. I also wanted so badly to fit in. I would see the popular kids, and no matter what they did, they would be great at it. I would have given anything to be just like them. I wanted to change who I was just to be popular. This is a really unhealthy point of view, and I saw this continue in other kids past elementary school, and I see where they are today, and they are not themselves. They try to copy the status quo and can't enjoy things that are not in popular culture. I most likely would have done the exact same thing, but my father, who had found out that he was dyslexic, had me tested for dyslexia. And so, for middle school, I went to a private school called Ross & Saunders that was only for dyslexic kids. This was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to me. The school was small. Classes were 7 kids. At their peak in the entire school, we had 59 kids. Also, every day I went to an academic language therapist who retaught me the English language. Everyone in the school had been through the same humiliation that I had, and I made some of the best friends that I have ever made in any school during those 3 years. My self-confidence rose, and I was able to be myself, truly myself. Without Ross & Saunders, I would have probably been crushed so permanently by middle school. From what I've heard from other people's middle school's experiences, that there's no way I would be the person that I am today. In high school, I decided to go back to public school. I remember the first fight that I ever saw in the hallways. I was so terrified that another kid would punch another kid until he bleed. I was obviously pretty naive, and I felt sort of like an alien in this world. At this point in my life, I still wanted to be an actor, like in movies and such. Unfortunately, school didn't offer any acting for movies classes, which I would have taken in a heartbeat. But they did offer theater and then also media classes. The media class would show a newscast that would run during the second period of every school day. I joined both. In the media class, we had to finish a big project for the year, and I decided to make a music video for my favorite band, Lemon Demon. This is one of the first videos I ever published to YouTube. And without making this video, I could easily say that I would have not decided to try YouTube later on. People commented on the video and viewed it, and I was amazed I could get thousands of views for making a high school project. And I also realized that there was a huge YouTube community. The first vloggers that I ever watched were Zipster08 and Renetto, and I quickly found Charlie Is So Cool Like after that and was hooked. It took me a little while, but then I started making my own vlogs. About this time I graduated high school and went to college. While at college, I did little else than play video games and think about making YouTube videos. This doesn't actually mean that I made a lot of them, I just thought a lot about it. Then over the next few years, I grew increasingly frustrated. College seemed like a waste of time to me. The videos I were making were not going anywhere, and I could tell that vlogging wasn't looked highly upon outside of the YouTube subscribers that I had. I was also watching content that Revision 3 was putting up, and I was frustrated that I couldn't make content that I was proud of. Also, I tried and had failed at making a vlog every day for a year, getting 9 months into it. This left me really burnt out with YouTube vlogging. Also at the time, I was jumping in between jobs. I was a summer camp staff member, then I was a live stage techie, then a warehouse manager, then an AV installer. I was incredibly frustrated, and I knew that I needed to learn more if I wanted to continue down this internet media path. Through a mutual friend, I asked Brian Brushwood, host of Revision 3 Scam School and a touring live magician, if he needed an intern. My timing was perfect. His last stagehand had just left the position and it was open. My college, of course, was not completed, and I convinced my parents that this was a great idea by telling them that this was a college credit internship. And the first 6 months of it was, except that I worked for Brian for a year and a half. If middle school was a changing point in my teens, then this was the changing point for my 20s. I learned so much in a short amount of time and gained the connections in the new media industry that I had always wanted. Of course, my YouTube videos, they dropped to 0. But this time was life-changing for me, challenging and rewarding. Thank you so much, Brian, for all of the things that you taught me during this time. While working for Brian, I was able to apply for a job at a company called Twit, and they accepted me. So almost 2 years ago to today, I moved from Austin, Texas, saying goodbye to all of my friends, and moved to live in California. So far, Twit has been a crazy ride, starting off just as an associate producer, and now producing some of the largest shows on the network. In the future, I hope to make more videos. I want to start back up with this YouTube thing, and I want a place, just like I used to have, to talk with people like you about what's going through my head at any given moment. Thank you so much for watching. This has been my life.